And Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairperson Wafula Chebukati had a rough time attempting to convince members of parliament why the electoral body needs additional funds to conduct the 2022 general election. Chebukati says with the current deficit of 4.6 billion shillings, IEBC might not be able to smoothly conduct the elections. The Parliamentary Committee on Budget Allocation, which was grilling Chebukati and his top officials at IEBC, took him to task over huge expenses, citing procurement of ballot papers as one of the most expensive in the world. Tobias Chanji puts this story to perspective.
Wednesday's session was scheduled to start at 10:15 in the morning, but this did not take off due to absence of Chebukati. IEBC commissioners with their acting CEO, Marjani Hussein, were turned away for not being accompanied with their chair, Wafula Chebukati. Chebukati was forced to catch an immediate flight to Mombasa for the session, had a rough time explaining to the MPs committee why he needs additional funding for elections scheduled for next year. According to Chebukati, they are running with a deficit of 4.6 billion shillings.
In the last 3 years, we've been asking for money to refurbish the technology we have. We never received anything until this financial year. And so the commission then we are finding ourselves in a place where we, of course, have to reuse the technology we have, buy a few more kits to replace the ones which are damaged, and all in accordance with the law which is laid down in the Elections Act.
On the ongoing mass voter registration exercise, IEBC says it received only 2.1 billion shillings against 2.4 billion that they had initially demanded. And this is the reason the polls body says the registration exercise won't be extended. Voter listing is scheduled to end on 30th October.
We talk of cost of election. This cost which has been put here, it is mainly activity-based. And I think that's what the CEO is going through. Each activity has a cost. And also, each of them is legislated.
The Parliamentary Committee on Budget Allocation, however, through its chairperson, Kanini Kega, was not convinced.
For a ballot paper, I don't know whether you have already procured ballot papers. One single ballot paper, in Kenya, costs about 35 Kenyan shillings. But in our neighboring countries, like Uganda, Tanzania, and the rest of the countries, they spend about 20 shillings per ballot paper. I mean, what is this so different that our ballot paper is costing this, high, this amount?
The reason why we came up with a complicated ballot paper is because what my colleague has said, because of trust issues. And I also want to believe that if you try this kind of paper in Kenya, I can guess you'll have many other ballot papers that the Commission cannot account for. That I know for sure.
The committee noted that Kenyans were not getting value for their money if the commissions was to be compared with other nations.
IEBC, when you are doing the verification of voter register, IEBC was not properly constituted. And then it begs the question, when you proceed, and you're assuming that because from the schedule that you have given us here, you have already done some procurements. And for sure, these procurements, if you go back, you'll see that maybe this procurement process started way back when you are not properly constituted.
The back and forth continued for the better part of the day, with all eyes now fixated on two bodies of what conclusions will they arrive at. Tobias Chanji, KTN News, Mombasa County.
Away from that,